Good morning, my name's Jude, back again with another video. This time we're going to do the International Order of Draw Part 2 with the inversions and the test. For the first stopper, the yellow stopper for 1A, the additives are sodium paulane ethyl sulfonate, or SPS. The function is to stop white blood cells from killing bacteria. You invert this 8 times, and the tests are for blood cultures and sensitivity. 1B, the additive is acid citrate dextrose, or ACD. The function is to preserve red blood cells. You invert this 8 times, and the test is for human leukocyte antigen. Number 2 is the light blue stopper. The additive is sodium citrate. The function is that it binds to calcium. And as an anticoagulant, you invert this 3 to 4 times. And then you test this for coagulation studies, prothrombin time, activated prothrombin time, and thromboplastin time, or TPT. I forgot to add time. It's blasting time. Number 3 is the red stopper. It has no additives, blood clots in 30 to 60 minutes for its function. You invert this 0 times, and the test is for serum chemistry, blood banking, and clotted blood sample. Number 4 is the speckled red tube, or the gold SST tube. The additives are tixotropic gel, thrombin. The function is as a serum separator for the SST tube. Thrombin is a clot activator. Blood clots will occur in 1 to 2 minutes. You invert this 5 times, and the test is for stat serum chemistry, and it cannot be used in blood banking. 5A and B are both green stoppers, plain tubes. The additives are sodium heparin, ammonium heparin, and lithium heparin. The function is an anticoagulant, and it stops prothrombin from turning into thrombin via the PST tube with tixotropic gel. You invert this 8 times. It's supposed to be a test for blood gases, plasma chemistry, and ammonia. Number 6 is the lavender stopper. Its additives are ethyl-diamine tetraacetic acid. It binds to calcium, preserves blood cells. You invert this 8 times. The tests are for complete blood cell count, or CBC, white blood cell count, WBC, red blood cell count, RBC, the differential percent of white blood cell count, erythrosedimentation rate, ESR, and platelet count. The gray stopper is next at number 7. Potassium oxate and sodium fluoride are the additives. Its function is to bind to calcium as an anticoagulant, and it stops cells from using glucose. You invert this 8 times, and you will test this for random blood sugar, fasting blood sugar, postprandial blood sugar, so after a meal, or rather a pile of sugar is given to the patient. And next you will also test glucose tolerance test, or GTT, how much glucose a patient can actually tolerate, and the A1C is, the effective usage of glucose over time. So let's say you'll have a patient, you'll test this over a certain amount of time, and the A1C will always be the true representation of a patient's blood sugar levels. Next, we have the royal blue stopper. This can either have no additives or ethyl diamine tetraacetic acid, or sodium. Blood clots in 30 to 60 minutes. For the royal blue stopper, if you have no additives, it binds to calcium and it stops prothrombin from becoming thrombin. Inversion, you do not invert this if it has no additives. It will act like a red tube, and you will invert this 8 times if it does have additives. Tests are for toxicology and trace metals and nutritional analysis. Number 9 is the tan stopper. Its additives are lithium heparin. Its function is to stop prothrombin from becoming thrombin. You invert this 8 times, and you will analyze lead. So this will be for lead analysis. Next up is number 10, the white stopper. Its additives are ethylene diamine tetraacetic acid, or EDTA, in gel. Its functions are to bind to calcium and preserve blood levels. You invert this 8 times, and this is for DNA and HIV testing. Very important. Number 11 is the black stopper. Its additives are sodium citrate. Its function is to bind to calcium. Anticoagulants. You invert this 8 times, and you test erythrosedimentation rate. Number 12, and finally, is the orange stopper. Its additives are thrombin. Its function is to make the blood clot in less time, so 5 minutes. You invert this 8 times, and this is a stat serum test. So from the top, just to be sure, for the yellow stopper 1 and 2, you invert this 8 times. For the light blue stopper, you invert this 3 to 4 times, and you will test blood cultures and sensitivity and human leukocyte antigen, or HLA, with the yellow stopper 1A and 1B. For the light blue stopper, you will invert this 3 to 4 times. You'll be testing coagulation studies, prothrombin time, activated prothrombin time, and thromboplastin time. So PT, APT, and PTP. The red stopper, you do not invert this, so you invert this 0 times. You test serum chemistry test, blood banking, and clotted blood sample. For the red stopper, for the speckled red stopper, you invert this 5 times, and you test serum chemistry, and it cannot be used in blood banking. 5A and B, which are the green stopper, you invert this 8 times, and you are testing blood gases, plasma chemistry, and ammonia. For number 6, lavender stopper, you invert this 8 times. You're testing complete blood count, white blood cells, red blood cells, differential of white blood cells, erythrosedimentation rate, and platelet count. So CBC, WBC, RBC, differential percent of WBC, ESR, and platelet count. For number 7, the gray stopper, you invert this 8 times. You're testing random blood sugar, fasting blood sugar, postprandial blood sugar, and glucose tolerance tests, as well as HbA1c, or hemoglobin A1c. So that's RBS, FBS, PPBS, and GTT, and A1C. And that's about it for right now. Take care. Have a wonderful morning.